Dust on the truck bed, mile after mile. Fields stretch out wide like they got a mind of their own. Red sign at the hall, coffee gone cold. Everybody talking with a fire in their bones. Hear that rumble now, under boots on the floor. October is coming and we want something more. October 19th, we're standing up. October 19th, we've had enough. Alberta singing loud, let the whole world hear. October 19th, freedom's here. Hard hats on hooks, checks run thin, hands on the ledger and the same old grin. From the shop to the rig, from the barn to the street, people keep asking, what do we believe? Hear that rumble now, under boots on the floor. October is coming and we want something more. October 19th, we're standing up. October 19th. shed their ink in the dark. For the dancers in silence, keeping rhythm in their hearts. Hey! For the brothers in prisons, carving dates into the stone. You are not forgotten, you are not alone. Pressure will rise, I swear it. Hear that echo in my bones. From terror roofs to the ancient thrones. We're breaking their walls, we bear it. Every tear, every battle cry. You can cage a body, but the soul won't die. Pressure will rise. Oh, Persia will rise. We stand together till the falcon flies.
Good morning. Welcome to the NPC show. Deprogramming the world one NPC at a time. I'm your host, Frank. Today is Friday, July 24th, 2026. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Hope you had a great week. I hope you're looking forward to a nice weekend. I mean, I know it's flaming hot everywhere you go. It's not my kind of weather. I can't believe I'm seeing triple-digit weathers this weekend. This is crazy. Not my kind of weather at all. Not the reason why I left LA. But okay, whatever's. It's at least it's only like this a few days a year for me, right? Yeah, I'm complaining and I got AC. Yeah, why? Because I'm listening to money being wasted, you know, on the AC. I'm burning your money. Thank you, hot weather. Anyways, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Barry. Bestable, good to see you. Mary, Bourbon, good to see you. Fearless, hello. Side Child Chick, good to see you. Donnie, Bendy, Lisa, good to see you. David Stores, good morning to you. Hello, Diane. Good morning, Christian. Hope you're on time today. 105 where you're at. Holy crap. Well, I don't feel so bad anymore. I'm barely gonna see 100. Barely. Which is, I mean, I only got like once. I mean, actually, last year I got 0 100-degree days. So this year's, for whatever reason, different, you know. Anyways, good morning to Sherry. Hello, Skibbity Bop. Good to see you. The verdict is BS. We will get to that in a bit. Patriot 626. Joshua. Midwest Papa. Lisa Finley. Talisha. Good to see you. Mac Brazel. Good to see you. Hello to everyone over on Rumble. Dixie, Josie, Mary. We've got Delta Music. Gene Rojas. Liberty. Good to see you. E30. Hobo. And Mary, good to see you. Hello to everyone over on Foxhole. We got Stephanie, Ron L. Witt, Sever, Ghost Rider, Ina, good to see you. And Donna, good to see you. We celebrated your birthday the other day, by the way, Donna. And thank you very much, Ina, for the donation. Yeah, I believe your birthday was, let me look at the calendar. Sorry, there's just a lot of birthdays to remember. Your birthday was Tuesday. Yeah, we celebrated your birthday, but you weren't here. So, but it's okay. It's okay, you know. Let's see. Do we keep that? Let me see. Sorry, not you. I'm looking at someone else's birthday who hasn't been around. I'm like, yeah, just get rid of it. Let's get rid of that person's birthday. But we'll keep yours, Donna, because you're awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we blew confetti and everything. We played the band song. Not that we're gonna ban you or anything like that, but you know, we play the band music for all sorts of celebrations. Anyways, good morning, everyone. Hello, Jillian. Good to see you, Jillian. E30 says it's gonna be 120 degrees where you're at. Holy crap, I hope you're at least in the desert where it's dry. And 120 feels like maybe 100 if you drink lots of water. Yeah, holy crap, 120. Yeah, I remember those days. Those days are awful. Oh yeah, it's that climate change, guys. We got to pay more taxes, fix that weather. Because taxes fixes weather, right? Pony Girl 108 in Vegas. Holy crap. How's everyone else? Hello, Mariah. Good to see you. Phoebe, sorry. Bulldog, Football Star. Hello to you, Donnie Newman. Janet Pink Poodle. Good to see you. Anyways, we have not too long of a show. It is a Friday. We do have a post show. We're gonna be watching Trump sign an EO on a ratepayer protection pledge. It is supposed to basically. Thank you very much, David Stores, for the donation. Thank you, buddy. Keeping the channel alive every day. Thank you, buddy. You are saving this channel and this country. You're helping me save the country. There we go. I believe you're a vet, right, David? You're a vet, so thank you for your service. You are also a country saver guy. Anyways, what is Russia confirmed strikes on arms depot? Okay, well, yeah, we know that you're at a war. I don't know why that's news. Anywho, thank you, David. Anyways, yes, the ratepayer protection pledge is supposed to strong arm data centers to make sure whatever resources they're going to be consuming, being electricity and water, that they don't impact neighboring communities as they have already been. And it has been kind of disappointing. Again, all of you liberal companies, AI, your data centers and AI, we know what side of the aisle you're on. Why are you building data centers in conservative areas? Why are you building data centers where you're not wanted? This is like the same thing I tell cops. Why are you why are you policing in New York City when no one wants you around? You know? So I don't know. It's just stupid. What is this? Froze the assets. Don't I have that way over here? Why is this the first story? Oops. Let me fix this. Stupid. What is going on? Hold on. I know I've got that back here. It is back here. Why is this? Okay, so that's not supposed to be there. Oh, did I botch that? I think I botched that. Damn it. Well, whatever I had there as the... oh, okay, there it goes. I got it right there because that's the original first story that I had. Anyways, hello guys. Hello Kim. Hello to you. Hello Lisa. Hello Donnie. Hello Catherine. Sherry. Bionic Fire Truck. Football Author. William Moore. Good to see you. I believe that's Christian Moore's is a brother or son, something like that. I believe Doug is his son, and your nephew. I forgot. Yeah, a lot of folks all in one little county there. I watched the show. Sorry for the hot day. Hello, Roland Bones, the guy who I've been calling RSBN forever. Hello, E30. You're in Colorado River, Arizona. Okay, Arizona. Yeah, it gets that hot out there. At least it's dry heat, right? Unless you just had a monsoon, which bizarrely is something Arizona's known for. Yeah, 110 degree rainstorms out there in Arizona once a year. It happens. Hello to everyone over on this side. Hello, Donna. Good to see you. Anyways, let's get going. We have him signing the ratepayer protection plan, and if there's enough people, we'll watch the day 2 of the Greasy Pole Contest 2026. If not, we'll save it for tomorrow. We will cut off of YouTube then, and we'll go over to Rumble. We've got several things to watch. We got our daily episode of Asian Women Are Awful, except for Liberty. She's cool. And then we've got Texas woman arrested over a Facebook post. That's Texas, guys. Yeah, and then Joshua talking about America versus the ICC, the International Criminal Court. So those all should be pretty interesting pieces to watch by those guys, my favorite journalists. Hello, reclaiming my time. Hello to you. I like that name. Hello, Catherine. Happy Friday to you. All right, let's get going, guys. Oh, Davis, so you're not a vet. Well, thank you for your donations. you're in a sense saving the country. Yeah. There we go. First story of the day: police intercept a car bomb that was on its way to Northern Ireland. Yeah, Northern Ireland, the only piece of the UK that has been actively hunting down illegals who are being violent. Yeah, remember those guys? Remember they burnt those apartments of the people who were involved in a stabbing? Remember those guys? Yeah, they're trying to explode that community now. Yeah, the radicals. I'm surprised the police stopped them. Usually they like this stuff. Usually they like the Sand Mexicans. The Mexican. Sand Mexicans. Great, there's a delay now. Usually they like it when that happens, when they step in and give me 1 second. Let me fix this sound issue. That sucks, man. It was fine for a very long time, and now it's doing it again. It's got a weird delay, huh? It's got a weird delay. Where is it at? Switch it to chat. Over here. Get rid of game. Let's see. See if did that fix it? The Mexican. There we go. Now it's on cue. No more delays, huh? Anywho, so police intercepted a car bomb on the way to Northern Ireland. Next story. Michigan County Clerk drops a bombshell. Over 1,000 non-citizens were found on the jury pool list. A jury pool is, guys, non-citizens, people who don't even know our laws are now going to interpret our laws on whether you were guilty or not. Yeah, they got to do something about this jury of your own peers thing, because it ain't gonna work in the near future. Okay, we already saw that happening in London. In London, they had a trial. 2 Islamists beat the crap out of 4 cops. They were put on trial, and because the jury was entirely Islamic, they got away with it when there was clearly video of them doing so. And now that's going to be happening in New York. I bet that stabber guy, that Mexican dude who stabbed those Jews yesterday, I bet you he's going to get away with it. Wait till we get to that story. Anyways, 40 of them are registered to vote in one county alone. Look at that. So awful. They got a lot to fix out there. Holy crap, man. Michigan. That's a very docile state where the Republicans are not very, other than Patty McMurray, the lady who wrote this article, I don't see a lot of activism out of Michigan, and I hope they step up because she's got a lot of weight in her hands. Next story. ICE has arrested this guy right here. He's a flight attendant out of Southwest Airline. He was not legally here. Yeah. Are you laughing now, guy? Is it funny to you? How many of you know a slut who wanted to be a flight attendant so badly so she could bang dudes all over the world? I know plenty who didn't get the job because they were not a black man. Yeah. They were hot blondes, redheads, brunettes, white. They were white. That was a problem. They were like, we have to hire nothing but darkies so we can get tax incentives from Biden and government contracts. Yeah. Well, he got kicked out. By the way, this guy got arrested by ICE at work. They went to the airport and got him. Yeah. He just confirms to Fox News that ICE has arrested a Southwest Airlines flight attendant while at work on July 14th. Lorenzo Thompson is a Jamaican illegal who came to the U.S. on a visa in 2021. It was set to expire. It expired, and this is written in this year to 2026. Come on, Bill Mulligan, you got one job. So I know it's not you. It's probably your handler of your account or whatever. Anyways, the visa expired in 2021, like 5 months down the road. No, he stuck around and he got a job. And these sluts were not able to become flight attendants to bang dudes all over the world like they've always dreamed of, right? Poor sluts. Anyways, at least he got to do it. At least he got to bang a bunch of dudes all over the world, all right? At least we're being equitable in that sense. It's too bad those flight attendants now are probably waitresses at this point. Again, banging lots of customers, right? For tips. Anyways. Doug Moore says, me and Chris are brothers. Also, Christian Moore and Doug Moore are brothers. William is the dad. Okay, interesting. Awesome. Well, good to have you, Papa Moore. William Moore is the dad. So that's Papa Moore right there. Awesome. You raised some fun kids. Anyways, next story. Trump DOJ sued to block Milwaukee, Wisconsin's unconstitutional ban on ICE agents wearing face coverings. Good stuff. Now they can continue wearing face coverings like Antifa does. Yeah. How do you allow protesters to wear face coverings and burn stuff, but these guys can't protect their own identities as they go and pick up illegal criminals who are here illegally? Yeah. They're not allowed to do it, but you guys are, huh? Yeah, eat shit, Milwaukee. I hope they wreck your town. And by wreck, I mean clean up all the illegals. Next story. The DOJ is surging to abolish discounted tuition for illegal aliens. As this is a thing that Colorado's already gotten a lawsuit for this, but apparently they're going to be going after all these other states. Texas is doing it? Texas has a lawsuit win. Got it. So we already sued Texas and won and stopped those liberal counties from giving taxpayer dollars to subsidize tuition for illegal aliens. Yeah, that's dog shit. Guys, tuition for out-of-country people used to be way higher, okay? And it was like that because they were willing to pay these prices, these exorbitant prices, to come to school in America. Now we're paying for their tuition. They don't even like us. Awful. So good job, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, and Kentucky. Ew, Kentucky. Blue state, Kentucky. But all these other states need some work. They're going to go and clean those up.
and being litigated. And, you know, you talk about possibly withdrawing federal funds and whether the state system there in Colorado, their university system, could continue to go on. This is a battle we've seen over and over again with the feds pulling dollars related to higher education and different things in order to effectuate their policy. Do you think that's what ultimately may happen in some of these states?
Well, look, I mean, I think that it is actually what should happen. It is actually the logical outgrowth of going down a line that says if there's a federal law and a state tries to the state says, forget it, we're going to do our own thing, then of course the federal government has an interest and the right in many cases to withdraw some of that federal funding.
And being litigated.
Next story. Scott Brissett just obliterated fraudulent charities tied to the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas. Yes, two very terroristic organizations. He is basically, what is he doing? I believe they are, something about, hold on. Brissett says the Trump administration will relentlessly pursue terrorists and those who finance them. So we're now going after these NGOs that are funding these organizations that promote terrorism. Treasury Department says Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control designated a senior Egyptian Muslim Brotherhood official along with several targets that have provided material support to Hamas. Two of the designated entities are sham charities to the Muslim Brotherhood that funnel substantial funding to Hamas's military wing, even as the terrorist organization continues to obstruct a peaceful resolution in Gaza. Yeah. So these guys popping off at IDF soldiers in Gaza, ruining peace deals because they want to get slaughtered. And that's why we should let the IDF slaughter them. Okay? It's not a real country. How can you call it a country when it has no governance, let alone water? It also has no water. Yeah, no governance. We're going to call it a country. Yeah, you guys lost. You guys need to fuck off. Seriously. Next story. 4 men pled guilty in Minnesota in a Medicaid fraud scheme. $2 million was stolen. Defendants operating out of the Griggs Midway building used AI to fabricate records. Yeah, very clever, but you got busted anyways. Yeah, this is when they talk, guys. Right? Oh, we busted you for this fraud. Now, would you like to know all your partners' names so we can reduce your sentencing? Yeah? Or would you like to do all 150 years? We can do that too if you like. Or we can cut it down to 15 and you get out in 7.5 if you rat out all your peoples. And then more people get caught and we have more slaves, right? Anyhow. Next story. The IRS is threatening to seize a Tennessee man's home and his farm over interest charge on an accidental refund. So here's what happened. He got a $20,000 tax refund somehow, okay? He also immediately tried to return it, saying, hey, I'm not supposed to be getting this tax return. And the IRS didn't have a way to take it back. There's nothing in their system. There's a way for you to pay additional taxes when you do your taxes, which no one does. But there's no way to return a wrongfully issued tax return. Okay, he tried to return it. They dragged their feet on accepting this return, and now they want to charge him interest on keeping that $20,000 for this extensive amount of time. Now, I wonder, is this something that the Bill Gates farming industry and the China farming industry pressured the Biden admin to do to get these guys to lose their farms? Or is this a guy who does not buy Monsanto seeds until Monsanto pressured our government to do this to screw his farm over? Monsanto, by the way, is now named Bayer Ag, B-E-Y-A-R. Wait, is that right? B-E-Y, you know the medication Bayer? Yeah, they purchased Monsanto and renamed it Bayer Ag. Ag as in agriculture, A-G. Yeah, it's German owned now. They're still doing a thing with the seeds and stuff like that. Yeah.
But when you need the help, you can't get a hold of nobody. You have to talk to a dang computer. Well, they called me right before I went on television this last time and said it was settled from Marshall Blackburn's office.
This notice, sent in early July, demands he pay thousands of dollars in interest on that money he says he never spent, or risk having his property seized.
I wish you'd get it straightened out and get one person to work on it instead of sending me letters all over the United States. I've cried, I preached, I've asked people to pray for me.
The 76-year-old says he's done everything he can to make it right, including meeting with the IRS Taxpayer Advocate Service in downtown Nashville. An effort, he says, got him nowhere.
I said, what are you doing? He said, oh, I'm paying my parking bill on my telephone. I said, oh, my God. I said, I got a little old flip phone. I don't know how to do that.
It's simple what he wants, for the IRS to stop coming after him.
Is that little one? Yeah. He gets caught in the fence. He sticks his horns in there and can't get out.
More than anything, Kirby just wants this to be over.
That it was all over and done with. Praise the Lord. Amen. Because I've cried. I'm about to cry now. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I have connected Mr. Kirby with a Nashville tax attorney who deals with IRS disputes. They are planning to talk on the phone on Friday to see what other options may still be available to him. I'm Hannah McDonald, News Channel 5.
But
Oops. It re-looped. Yeah, so, and by the way, Senator Bill Haggerty is getting involved. Says, I've directed my office to look into this and offer our assistance. I got a question. How many other people are going through the same thing and have no way of getting help? This guy's lucky he got on TV. Think about that. How many people don't have access, don't have the connections to get on TV who are getting fucked over right now? The government, the federal government needs to create a helpline for this. Senator Bill Haggerty. Thank you very much for paying attention to this. Marsha Blackburn, where are you at? Please do something about this. Thank you. Next story. A verdict has been reached in the case of Shiloh Hendrix. This is the N-word lady. Remember her? She was at a park with her child. And then a black kid came along and started stealing stuff from her son. Okay? She called the little black kid the N-word, which is perfectly legal. Yeah, perfectly legal. Okay? Then a Muslim adult black man goes and starts recording her and harassing her and saying, you cannot say these words. It's bad. You cannot say these words. And got her into a lot of trouble. She lost her job. She got harassed and stalked. Okay? She created a GoFundMe. And granted, yes, she raised $750,000. But the state of Minneapolis, or the city of Minneapolis or the state of Minnesota, I'm not sure which district did it, but they charged her for disorderly conduct for using the N-word. All she was doing was trying to keep her kid from getting jacked. Okay, and by the way, the guy who recorded her, a convicted pedo. Okay. So, and by the way, to all you Muslims who think this is a win for you, okay, let me remind you something, okay? During the Obama administration, someone made a threat against Obama on Twitter. That guy got 10 years, despite the fact that we were telling you that that is free speech, okay? It was not a credible threat. He was literally saying he wanted to end Obama. Okay, you all champion him getting put away, and then subsequently you champion all of us getting canceled, deplatformed, debanked for just being Christians, conservatives, or Trump supporters. Okay, so now you set this dangerous precedence. Okay, if you don't know what a precedence is, it's when a law was ruled a certain way, going forward it has to be ruled the same way in every similar case. Okay, which is why today you're seeing dozens of leftists being jailed for free speech, by the way. Okay, making threats against Donald Trump. Supposed to be free speech. Unfortunately, because you set that precedence, it is no longer the law. Well, it is the law, but the law is now seen differently because it was ruled a different way. Okay, and last I checked, the BIPOCs, you are the most racist demographic out there. You see the most racist shit. Go take a look at TikTok. Right now, you know what you guys should do? Find every single TikToker in Minnesota who says anti-white stuff, okay? And start filing charges against them. Start filing lawsuits and reference this case and say, hey, look, she says the N-word and she went to jail for it. This lady here has been trashing white people for 5 years. Not this lady, but this TikToker here has been trashing white people for 5 years. You're telling me that I can't sue her for damages to my reputation? Huh? You wait. All of you BIPOC people are going to suffer from this, okay? And don't you dare say anything about Jewish people. Now, because there are already laws in some states protecting that specific demographic. Yeah. And mark my words, Muslims, okay? There will be a day when the term Allahu Akbar will be considered hate speech, okay? Because your little Allah condones death to Jews, Christians, Hindi, Buddhists. You hate everyone. You hate everyone and you condone death upon them. Okay? So simply praising Allah will be considered a death threat. And this is something you wanted. Okay? This is something you wanted. So Shiloh will not have to appeal this. She probably might lose the appeal because it's a very democratic corner of the country there. And then she'll have to appeal it all the way to the Supreme Court. Again, a very big waste of her resources. Oh, by the way, do you guys know she's a Democrat? Yeah. Hey, Shiloh, did you vote for this? Did you vote for the destruction of the First Amendment? Did you vote for all these new Muslims and blacks coming into your community? Don't worry, I know you made a $750,000 on GoFundMe for your little defenses and whatnot. So you're going to have money for all that. But boy, what a waste of money that is. You know, that $750,000 was supposed to go for your house and to live off of, and maybe for your son's college fund. You know, for the rest of his life and for the rest of your life, you could have lived off of. Now you're going to waste it all on legal fees. All because you voted for Sand Mexicans to be all up in your neighborhood, recording you saying the N-word and getting you in trouble. Huh? And then regrets Shiloh. Can't get a job anymore. And then also, got to spend all your money on legal defense fees. Anyways. Mark my words, guys. Allahu Akbar will become hate speech. Okay? Because we know who really controls the world. Okay? We know who really controls this country. Right? There will be a time. Like I'll give you an example. Okay? Trump just tariffed 60 countries for not for slavery, for purchasing products made by slaves in China. Okay? Yeah. Trump has asked people, hey, stop buying stuff made by slaves. 60 countries he asked them to do that, and guess what? All of them failed. So what did Trump do? Trump is tariffing them 12.5% starting today. Yeah. And mark my words, there will be a day when a country will be tariffed for chanting Allahu Akbar. Will happen. Because it's hate speech. It's hate speech, you know? You're advocating for the death of Christians and Jews by saying Allahu Akbar because he condones it. You praise Allah. And that is hate speech. And we'll be tariffing them. And then once you're out of money, then we'll go ahead and sanction you so you can't do business with anyone. And anyone who does business with you, we're going to tariff them and sanction them. We're going to rob the whole world of wealth. You're all going to be villagers again. Like I said before, the rest of the world should just be villagers. They're not responsible enough to actually be a civilization. Okay, they're all savages. Good Lord. Anyways, sucks to be Shiloh. Well, maybe, I don't know. It sucks to be her, but well, doesn't suck to be her. She has all that money. But too bad she's going to be spending it on lawyers. Next story. A plumbing contractor is forced to shut down and lay off 25 union workers. This contractor here was responsible for working on this building right here. Yes, Obama's little Riyadh cube. You know that little Muslim cube that they have in Riyadh that all the Muslims trek to, and then they worship. They worship this box because one of the corners contains like an asteroid that came from space. And I'm like, there's like thousands of those all over the world. We have them in museums. And you guys worship this thing? Okay, cool. You do you, boo-boo. Anyways, this contracting company, black owned by the way, is owed $4 million by Barack Obama. However, Barack Obama decided not to pay them. Yeah. And that's what you get for worshiping just because he's black. What a dumb decision that was. Yeah. So they're going out of business, guys. They've shut down. They had to lay off 25 workers because Obama, they're owed $4 million by Barack Obama. They didn't get it, and they went under. Yeah. So yeah, that's Mike Owen talking about it. Anyways, well, at least you got to, I don't know, work like slaves. At least you got to experience slavery at the hands of a black man, huh? Which, by the way, I mean, that's how it was in Africa. That's where the slaves came from. They were enslaved by other blacks. Slaves were sold by blacks. They bought slaves from India long before they sold their own. I don't know why they keep blaming Europeans for it. Hey, I got slaves right now. 1.5 million of them in China. Yeah. Next story. Someone chanted Allahu Akbar and stabbed 2 Jews in New York City. Unfortunately, I don't think anything will happen to this. It looks like Kash Patel and Todd Blanche are going to have to step in on this because this is clearly a hate crime. You chanted Allahu Akbar. You know, they're known for hating Jews and Christians and Buddhists and Hindi people. And everyone who's not like them, they hate them. By the way, this guy's name, by the way, he's Hispanic. His name is, what's his name? Something about, what is his name? This guy's Hispanic, by the way. Very bizarre, like a Mexican name. Forgot what it was. How did you not include that? Everyone else included it. I see. I should have parked Breaking 911's video right here. Holy crap. Anyways, yeah. So this guy right here, a bean, right there. It looks like Sneeko. Huh? Sneeko would do it, but I believe he's a Filipino. Yeah. Yeah, that guy's a radical Islamist now. Morales, yes, last name Morales. Morales. Gotta pronounce those names right, like Jose Morales or something like that. Yeah. Chance that Allahu Akbar stabbed 2 Jews. Not a hate crime. Yet.
Morales, a good Samaritan, is being accused of carrying out the unprovoked daylight attacks. His name is Raul Morales.
Raul Morales. I believe you mean Raul Morales.
A good Samaritan is being credited for leading police to his hiding spot.
Close call says Sneeko's a cook. Yeah, Sneeko actually stated on an interview that he enjoys watching his girl getting banged by other guys. Yeah, that's why they call it a Sneeko chair. Yeah, every hotel you go to, there's always like a 1 chair, you know, for the guy who watches, right? Or maybe films, right? Yeah. Fun fact about Sneeko.
The NYPD commissioner says that during each attack, Morales shouted, "God is the greatest," in Arabic, quote. And detectives are continuing to work the case and determine motive. But according to the victim and witness statements, Morales yelled Allah Akbar during both attacks. The NYPD is currently evaluating whether this is a potential hate crime.
The commissioner also saying that mental health may have been a factor and that
yeah, that's such a totally a valid excuse. Wow, mental health. How about we do this? How about we just start firing missiles into Mexico, and then we'll just claim mental health issues? Yeah, sound good? Sound good? Can we do that? Is that a valid reason?
Link between the suspect and the victims who are now recovering. Zohran Mamdani releasing a statement saying, in part, "I am relieved that both victims are in stable condition. The NYPD responded immediately, and I am grateful for the officers for their swift response."
I like how you tweeted out the guy's name because he was not a San Mexican.
The Mexican.
He was only a Mexican. Yeah, so you tweeted out his name. If his name was Mohammed or Ahmed, you wouldn't have included his name in the tweet, but because you had this opportunity to blame it on a Mexican, you tweeted his name. Wow. Hey, Mexicans, looks like they're using you too, huh?
These hateful and despicable attacks have no
of carrying out the
What is this one? Okay, I already got that one on the dock. Next story. Mamdani just got sued, by the way. You know his rent freeze? Again, which by the way does not work. They did it in the 70s and it resulted in a third of Brooklyn being burnt down because people needed a way to exit their property. They torched it. They bought fire insurance and exited, and torched it to get out of New York. Apparently he's getting sued. They're going to try to block this.
Fighting back, a coalition of landlords has filed a lawsuit looking to overturn the city's newly approved 2-year rent freeze on roughly 1 million rent-stabilized apartments. They argue that Mayor Zohran Mamdani improperly influenced the Rent Guidelines Board to deliver on a campaign promise. Let's bring in now Randy Mastro, attorney for the landlord.
We don't need to go through all this. You get the idea. They're trying to sue against the rent freezes. Great waste of money there. Next story. Alan Richson, a guy I've never heard of in my life. He's from some show called The Reacher. Like a reach around. That's like when you stand behind a guy and jack him off. Anyways, she's calling Trump an effing rapist who is all up into 13-year-olds. Mr. Trump, it sounds like you need to file a defamation lawsuit here because he is tarnishing your name. Remember, the guy who tried to kill you at the last correspondence dinner believed that you were a pedo because CoffeeZilla said that you are. because CoffeeZilla reiterates news from only the Wall Street Journal and not actually going through the Epstein files himself. Yeah, you should sue CoffeeZilla too. He's got a lot of money. This guy's definitely got a lot of money. Look at that watch he's got. Oh, not a watch. Yeah, look at that watch he's got. That looks expensive. So you can make lots of money, guys. The fastest way to get rich in this country, aside from winning the lotto, is suing someone. And Mr. Trump sure is really good at getting rich these days. Huh? Yeah. He sure knows where to invest and put all his money, right? Yeah. Anyways, you should definitely sue this guy here.
People, I think, are a little bit afraid of me because they're like, he's a loose cannon.
Was that a question or is a statement? He's afraid of me? Listen to
People, I think, are a little bit afraid of me.
Afraid of me? Oh, you sound uncertain, guy. Holy crap.
A little bit afraid of me.
Afraid of me? Oh, man. Such a tough guy with earrings.
Afraid of me?
Afraid of me?
Because they're like, he's a loose cannon. And I'm not.
I'm just not. I'm telling you, I'm not. Oh my God. Dude, these Hollywood people keep trying to act tough. It's freaking ridiculous. You have bodyguards. What are you talking about? You're not tough.
Saying the shit that everybody should say if they give a
tough. I swear it. I got tattoos. I'm tough.
Shit about humanity. Everybody else should feel like I feel.
The world is on fire.
The world, yeah, like, oh, mad about the way things are and the abuses that are happening. The Epstein files. The fucking Epstein files!
Yeah, I'm gonna scream out loud so people know how sincere and energetic and dangerous I am.
God damn it! Where are they?
You're supposed to turn your head away from the microphone when you scream. Yeah, dumbass. Why do you think I got mine pointed at my neck? Stupid.
It's a fucking law, bitch. Show it, you fucking pedophiles.
We already released 3.3 million of those files. You must be a CoffeeZilla viewer. That's probably why you don't know that. It's probably why you've only known of what the Wall Street Journal puts out, whom they told CoffeeZilla to talk about. He won't talk about the remaining 3.3 million. He absolutely did not talk about the Crown Princes of Norway bragging on email about sterilizing two-thirds of the world. Yeah. Before the pandemic, by the way. Yeah. Ooh, it makes me giddy that I get to sterilize 2/3 of the world. Yeah. Crown Princes of Norway.
Didn't say fuck because I'm a Christian, and people are gonna go like, how can he say fuck and he's a Christian?
Makes me feel less bad about them losing the World Cup, you know?
Because that is something that should make you want to say fuck.
Swear more. Show them how much of a man you are by swearing.
All right, God, I'm sweating now. This is my fucking politics.
I'm sweating now. I'm so angry. I have to tell people I'm sweating and like I'm hot now because I'm so dangerous. I swear a lot. I'm dangerous. I'm dangerous?
Dude, I would fucking railroad these fuckers.
Yeah,
I would get
more F-bombs, yes. F-word, F. You're so tough.
Those Epstein files out in 2 seconds. Yeah, dude.
God, you're an actor, okay? You wouldn't last a minute with the shittiest UFC fighter in the world.
2 seconds, fucking move out of the way.
Yeah, more F-bombs. I'm tough, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna tell them what's stinky and scare them to death.
Like, get out of there. I don't care what room they're in, bitch. Move.
Yeah. B words, A words, F words. Yes. More swearing. I'm so tough. I wear pants where my ankles are showing. In my days, we call those fags.
Like, give me the fucking manila envelope. I will get you the Epstein files.
Oh, really? You're gonna get the Epstein files. Sure. Real tough guy right there. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm so frustrated.
Got my vote. Whatever you want to run for, you got it.
Don't you want to see what's in there so that we can hold people?
You already released 3.3 million of them. You just have to pay attention.
Accountable? These fucking rapists?
Yeah, more F-bombs, yes!
We're just cool with it? That bitch has the keys to the nuclear... He's like all up into 13-year-olds. Like, dude, what? Go to jail.
Okay, wait, hold on. You're the one in Hollywood. You're the one who had to bang a 13-year-old on camera to get famous. We know how this works, okay? Holy shit, these guys. You're the one who had to blow Harvey Weinstein to get casted. We know what the casting couch is, okay? Guy? Yeah, fun fact, guys also have to do that. It's not just a woman thing. Yeah. You know why they do it? They want to make sure you're dedicated, that you really want it, okay? That's why it's always someone that's fat and disgusting and probably doesn't shower very often. And I'll tell you this is from my experience, okay? When I used to DJ, I was trying to find a singer, okay, who would be singing like a song, you know, like a house track. When I needed vocals, right? This is like live on stage, okay? And I can tell you from what I've been through trying to find this singer, okay? Girls want to be famous. They don't want to put the work into it. They don't want to practice. And I'm too busy to show up for practice. Literally the #1 nightclub in LA you could have been singing at. I'm talking about bitches who have been to acting school thinking they were going to get famous. Okay? Not realizing that they got to do what he did. Bang kids on camera. And then suck off Harvey Weinstein to get famous. That's what you got to do, okay? It's not about talent, okay? It's why the best actors are not in Hollywood. The hottest models are not the ones on Victoria's Secret catalogs. The one on Victoria's Secret catalogs are the ones willing to jack people off on Epstein Island. You know, where this guy's friends went. But anyways, they want to be famous, but they don't want to show up. They don't want to practice, okay? And had I made them blow me before offering to even like work with them, I would have saved a lot of time not having to deal with people who were very insincere about doing this, about singing. Okay, I would have saved a lot, and that's why they do it, by the way. So any guy you know, with a guy or a girl, if they have a SAGS card, they've blown a fat, disgusting, smelly dude. Okay, it's universal. Like everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. I used to live with a guy who had a SAGS card. He blew guys. He blew fat guys. Okay.
Go to jail. All right, what are we talking about? People.
We were talking about how you got into Hollywood and you had to blow like a fat dude and like fuck kids on camera to get famous. That's what we were doing. Yeah. You should sue me for defamation. I own nothing. But we know you got money, so Donald Trump, you should sue this guy. Next story. A guy named Kike Hernandez. Is that really his name? A guy named Kike Hernandez doxed a fan because the fan criticized him for not going to the White House visit. I can't believe that's your real name. Your first name? You got to be kidding me. How has he not been canceled already? Holy shit. Anyways, this guy did not go to the White House appearance yesterday. Trump did greet the Dodgers, who were the World Series champions. The most recent ones anyways. And Kike Hernandez did not go. So anyways, some fan criticized him and he doxed him. That's not good. That's not nice. Let's see. Joe Concha roasts Kike Hernandez over his decision to skip Dodgers White House visit. Oh, come on.
Why is nobody talking?
I got Rumble Premium, guy. One fan made his displeasure known in a letter to Hernandez. He makes $4.5 million a year, huh? This is how you melt fat from your body. You put fake fat on it and you pour water on it so it dissolves. Anyways.
And if he wants to sit home and complain about it, he's only hurting himself. And if he wants to sit home and complain about an injury, well, it's about what an LA Dodger does, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the bottom line is that this guy, not exactly key to the Dodgers winning the World Series, 237 lifetime hitter. Or at the same time,
no, that Brave slugger Freddie Freeman was, though. Anyway.
Yes. Yes. Just go, be a good sportsman. But we always say go Mets anyway. All right.
That's odd. Isn't she from South Dakota? Well, she's a Mets fan. I guess maybe South Dakota doesn't have a baseball team, maybe? I don't know. Anywho, Hernandez has long had he's been vocally against Trump for a long time. Tensions, while rumors initially claimed ICE was targeting fans, Outkick confirmed at the time that the personnel was actually California Border Control agents conducting routine operations unrelated to local sweeps. Shout out to Larry for the nice. Oh, got it. So he posts a letter that someone sent him, and he posts the return address. Oh, it looks like Larry Wydick. Larry Wydick, do you have any idea how rich you're gonna be now? You could easily sue this. He makes $4.5 million a year, and he doxed ya. Yeah, you know what you got to do now, Larry? Because this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna find a really close friend who can keep a secret. Okay, you're gonna have this guy wear a mask and trash your house, and then he's gonna run. Right? You're gonna report it. Well, make sure he doesn't carry a cell phone on him. Don't get caught. Okay? And then you're gonna be like, oh, people are destroying my house because of Kike Hernandez. I can't get over that name. That's hilarious. Anyways, and then you're gonna sue him for lots of money. I had to relocate. I got lots of expenses. I'm traumatized. That's a very important one. I'm traumatized, okay? Without that, there's no additional money beyond repairs of your house and relocation costs, closing costs, taxes, all that stuff they're going to be paying for the new house, okay? Anyways, and legal fees. Legal fees. You're gonna make him pay for it. $4.5 million a year. Let's say you're going to make a lot of money, guy. Great writing. I mean, you know, great idea writing to him, because you are going to be a very rich guy now. Yeah, and with a name like that first name right there, you know he's got money. Huh? Oh, I'm kidding. Please don't cancel me. Next story. A liberal court has ruled against a teacher who got fired for refusing to put away this book here. It's a book affirming your gender. This teacher was told to put it away. Don't let kids see this. We want them to have gender dysphoria. We want them to lop off their tits. We want them to lop off their junk. We want them to take transition meds for the rest of their lives because they make a lot of money on this. Okay? And we want you to stop promoting gender affirming books titled He is He or She is She. Right? So the court has ruled against this person. It sounds like you need to. Okay, I'm not sure what the lawsuit was about, but you need to sue for money. Okay, because that's what you want to do. You don't want your job back. Why would you want to work for this school again? That's terrible. You want money. You want to be able to retire early. And by the way, reach out to the RNC. I'm sure they've got some lawyers that'll love to help you out with this case. This is a slam dunk. This will go to the Supreme Court. Okay, and then you'll win. Done. Okay? Sue them, take lots of money, retire. Okay? Contribute to Republicans. Next story. Governor Healy endorsed Massachusetts LGBT nonprofit advised paying. What? What is this? Give me a second. This is Cassandra. Got it. Makes sense. Yeah. This is what headlines look like when they're written by a porn actress. Nothing against it, but facts are facts. Okay. Not a writer, definitely a performer, an actress. I don't know. She might like BDSM. I don't know. She might be into it. I don't know. But anyways, in Massachusetts, a Framingham, Massachusetts-based LGBT group youth organization that was endorsed by Maura Healey. Okay, this is much betterly written than your headline here. Anyway, so this is probably AI. That's why. They openly advertised a marketing photo shoot that paid white models less than people of color as a commitment to racial equity. Okay, so again, Harmeet Dillon, I hope you got your eyes on this. Definitely a civil rights violation. I would call out Linda McMahon, but she definitely will not have anything to do with this. She definitely will not remove any woke schools who are committing crimes, by the way. She will not remove their government funding. We will always continue paying taxes for this garbage. It will never end. It will never end. All right, by the way, as soon as we're not needed for any war, as soon as the Iranian war is over, as soon as Russia's defeated by the EU, okay, and they don't need America anymore, they're going to go right back to all this shit, all this liberal shit, all this transhumanism stuff. Anything that they can do to promote transhumanism, because they want chips in all your brains, okay? Which is, again, why we need to nip it in the bud. But no, we're not. It's still proliferating thanks to Linda McMahon, who continues to fund this. Good Lord. Next story. University of Minnesota is paying diversity staffers almost $1.5 million annually. Again, things that were supposed to be illegal because taxpayer funds should not be used for political reasons. Okay? But again, Linda McMahon... I don't get this. I don't get this, you know? We're paying taxes for this, guys. Next story. In New Jersey, Republican lawmakers are pushing to form a special committee with subpoena power to force Governor Mike Shiloh from New Jersey. Remember that little incident right there, New Jersey? They're trying to force her and the divisions of elections to turn over all the files on thousands of non-citizens registering to vote. So they're trying to start a committee to fix that here.
Welcome back. New fallout from New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill after more than 6,000 non-citizens in her state ended up on voter rolls. Senior correspondent Eric Shawn has all the details for us. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Jillian. Well, New Jersey Democratic Governor Mikey Sherrill is lashing out today, and she is lashing out at President Trump over election integrity. This says investigations of voter fraud in her state are intensifying. Republicans now in the state assembly are demanding a special committee with subpoena power investigate the voter fraud scandal that caused thousands of non-citizens to be registered and almost 400 non-citizens to illegally vote. But despite that, Sherrill is blaming the White House.
We're running an independent investigation right now to get to the bottom of exactly how this happened and what's going on. But, you know, it is not
It's actually 36,000, Marion.
surprise to me that the federal government, that the Trump administration wants to immediately weaponize this against people as opposed to focusing on
and that's just 35,000, just what they found so far. Yeah.
making sure that we're running free and fair elections.
She says it was a computer glitch at the Department of Motor Vehicles that caused the problem. You know, nearly 6,600 non-citizens were automatically put on the voter rolls when they applied for driver's licenses at the DMV.
Funny, so you're still saying 6,600, and you've also not mentioned the fact that the company who made this machine said, no, there is no software glitch. They're actually registering them.
Between June 2000...
This video's got another 40 seconds left. Let's see if he corrects that.
2023 and June 2024. Well, at the White House today, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says it is about time that Governor Sherrill recognizes there is a voter fraud problem in her state.
New Jersey and this governor, the fact that she just all of a sudden decided to put out a press release saying President Trump and Republicans have been right about non-citizens on our voting rolls is not a coincidence.
Wow. So this video was done, this segment here was done after the White House speech. I did my show yesterday before her White House speech, and even I covered that the real number is 36,000. The machine companies already denied it. Wow, Fox is just leaving a lot of stuff out these days, huh? Running cover? Much? Running cover, Fox?
I think this governor is saying this because she realizes this administration is serious about getting to the bottom of illegal aliens voting and being on our voter rolls in our country.
Yeah. So there's that. What else is there? AG Harmony Dillon is preparing to go to the Supreme Court to force dozens of non-compliant states into turning over and purging their voter rolls.
Do you plan to take this fight to the Supreme Court?
Well, we do. It's actually closer to 30 states. 20 states have given us their voter rolls voluntarily, and we've found hundreds of thousands of people on those voter rolls who shouldn't have been there. Now, since the governor made this announcement, we've opened up an investigation. We asked her to disclose to us the names of the 6,600 individuals who were wrongfully put on the voter rolls, and then the 400 who voted knowing that they weren't entitled to. And today she hasn't responded to us yet, but she did tell the New York Times and others that she wasn't going to give us that information because, quote unquote, we would weaponize it and she doesn't trust us with the data. Well, who can't be trusted with data, Governor Sherrill? It seems like it's actually New Jersey because these people said they weren't entitled to vote, and then you put them on the voter rolls in your state, blaming the vendor, calling it a glitch, etc. It is the job of the election officials, not some data vendor, to determine citizenship when they put people on the voter rolls. That's federal law. And it also sounds like, Liz, the state allowed these people to stay on the voter rolls for more than a year after they knew that they weren't legally entitled. That is a violation of federal law, too, federal criminal law. So we're looking at this very carefully.
And you may take it to the Supreme Court. So Homeland Security found more than 250,000 illegal aliens on just 4 state voter rolls. You know about this: California, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Nevada. You know, we did a deep dive. 25 states do automatic voter registration at the...
Yeah. So there's that. And then also, we got some updates about Lisa Murkowski. So with all this going on about, good Lord, why do you guys do this animated AI video stuff? Anyways, Trump announcing that China stole 220 million voter records. And then we've got now Mikey Sherrill, governor of New Jersey, now having to come forward and get ahead of the news that, there's lots of illegals registered in New Jersey. Alaska has now suddenly purged thousands of non-citizens from their voter rolls. Yeah, she sure doesn't want to get caught, does she? Don't worry, they'll re-register everything before Kelly Shabaka runs against her again. And then Lisa Murkowski will win again. Because, again, we don't have a Save America Act, do we? Because of her, by the way. Yeah. And she's one of 3 that are voting no on it. McConnell, Murkowski, and Collins. This is Murkowski. By the way, her father ran Alaska corruptly, of course, long before she ever entered politics. The Murkowski family has been in control of Alaska for a very long time. Next story. Top Democrat strategist James Carville admits the left is losing the war on voter ID, urges party to cave and surrender. Yeah, by the way, voter ID across both parties, there's like an 87% support for voter ID across both parties. Yeah, the Democrats are also sick of these illegal bean cakes mooching on their free stuff. They wanted all the free stuff to themselves and themselves only. But no, you need more voters to win, right? Because people are keen to what the hell the Democrats are doing. So at least he's admitting that. But again, this is all communism you pushed. So, I mean, you were totally okay with communism when you guys were in control. All right, now you want elections to be, balanced. You don't want the illegals to be voting you guys out, of the Democrats getting kicked out, huh?
Oh, no.
It's just 3 minutes. We're not going to watch all that. We don't have time. Next story. This is the crooked judge Diane Hagan, who was responsible for giving away one of Utah's Republican seats to the Democrats, okay? She ruled that you cannot have all 100% of the seats in Utah red. They have to have at least one. So they're forced to redraw the map to include one blue one. Well, she has resigned, not for that reason. She's resigned because she got caught up in a adult affair with the lawyer who was working on the redistricting. So again, big conflict of interest there, very shady. And again, I hope it was worth it, Diana Hagan. Yeah, were you not aware that we also have our honeypots, that we got you caught up in this, so that we could ruin your career because you fucked over Utah and gave a seat over to the Democrats? Yeah. The Republicans learned very quickly, huh? It didn't take too long for the Republicans to pull up some very, very sharp data analysts to figure things out about the election, the crooked election, right? The gang stalking program, which the Republicans, the conservatives are also driving their own side of now. Yeah. Sending out lots and lots of honeypots. Anyways, busted. Next story. A court has denied the Democrats' attempt to block the new Tennessee map that got rid of that last remaining dumpster fire blue district right there. So it is all red now. It is all red now. You took that one blue district and you divide it by 3, and you fill it with a bunch of Republicans, and then you make it an all red state. All right, good stuff. Yeah, it's too bad Utah fucked over. Oh, by the way, there's like 6 states in New England. All Democrat representative, despite the fact that it's 43% Republican. Next story. Trump has just imposed tariffs on 60 countries beginning today. These countries were countries that he asked a long time ago to stop purchasing products made by slaves, more particularly the Xinjiang region of China. Okay, he asked them that. They didn't listen. And so, the 10% global tariffs that he applied on everyone, those are only for 1 year. So they're expiring today. He's not renewing that one. But what he's doing is he's going to be tariffing countries that have continued to purchase from slave owning countries. Yes. Again, things that the black community should be praising him for. But again, they only care about slavery if it'll get them free stuff. They don't care about the Turkish slaves in China. They don't care about the Libyan slaves in Africa. They only care that they get the reparations. Never mind the fact that I built railroads across this whole country with my own 2 hands. Oh, I don't get anything, huh? I made $1. I made $1 a day doing that kind of work. I don't get anything. It looks like black people, you owe me reparations, okay? How about we just have the whites give me reparations directly? Yeah? Can we do that? I think it's a better idea. I think the whites will be more they'll agree with that more than giving you reparations, because you would blow it on, I don't know, bling, $6,000 rims for your $2,000 car. All right? Oh man, a collection of white shoes in which you're going to murder someone for stepping on one day and end up in jail. Anyways, so the tariffs took place at midnight today, which 12:01, covering 99.4% of all U.S. imports. Countries get either 10 or 12.5% depending on whether they've already banned goods made with forced labor. Argentina, Bangladesh, Canada, India, Mexico, Pakistan, and the UK all get the 10% rate. China, Brazil, Russia, and Saudi Arabia will get the higher 12.5% rate. Japan, Korea, and Switzerland get a special cap. Their old tariff plus this new one adds up to about 12.5. So it's not stacked. These don't stack with existing tariffs either. Steel and aluminum stay at 50, not 60%. And then also Canada gets their 50% smog tariff, right? Their carbon tariff. Yeah. Before, what is this one about? NGOs. Before we go to that one, let's just talk about this real quick. This just popped up. Trump talked about the whole Canada thing. Canada, remember, they were supposed to reopen that bridge that we shut down because we paid for half of it and they're taking all the tolls for it, and then also they gave all the jobs to Canadian citizens and nothing for the US. Well, we negotiated to get half of the tolls, so then they agreed and we're supposed to have a grand reopening, right? And Canada canceled it. And so Trump says this. He responds with, Canada disinvited the USA to the opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge, which is fine considering they are paying substantial tariffs to the United States. But the original deal on the bridge, which was terribly negotiated by a previous administration, no longer stands. We changed the terms of the deal so that the USA now gets 50% of the profits. Good stuff. Next story. Subpoenas have been sent out to 3 left-wing NGOs after they got tens of millions of dollars from Marxist China-based billionaire Neville Singham. And he's accused of funding violence in America. Yes, Neville Singham, his wife is a founder of Code Pink. And apparently there are 2 other NGOs he's also funding that is doing domestic terrorism in America. And then China's harboring this guy in Shanghai and protecting him. It sounds like China needs to be invaded. Huh? It sounds like China needs to be invaded. Anyway, so that's what's going on out there. Good stuff.
House panel now investigating the money trail of 3 far-left nonprofits. The issue here is whether a Marxist millionaire based in Shanghai gave them tens of millions of dollars. Lucas Tomlinson on that today out of D.C. What'd you find out, Lucas?
Good morning, Bill. The powerful House and Ways and Means Committee wants to know how 3 of these left-wing nonprofits obtained more than $39 million from alleged Marxist tech tycoon Neville Singham. One Republican China hawk calls Singham a traitor and wants the Justice Department, who's launched an investigation, to lock him up.
All of his money comes from China, ties to the Chinese Communist Party, our biggest adversary in America, the Chinese Communist Party. And this guy, who is an American, but he lives in China, all of the billions of dollars that he's made come from Chinese Communist Party tech companies that are using him to funnel money to fuel left-wing violence in America.
Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith has issued subpoenas to 3 nonprofits called the People's Forum, Breakthrough News, and Tri-Continental Institute for Social Research, all left-wing organizations who Smith says failed to turn over documents voluntarily. Lawmakers are investigating whether shell companies were used to obscure the origin of the money and where existing tax-exempt laws properly guard against foreign influence. One expert tells Fox part of the problem is with this opaque world of some nonprofits.
The nonprofit system was really set up to help Americans help other Americans and not have to pay taxes to do that. So I think that the fact that you now have foreign entities that have taken such a significant interest in our nonprofit system should raise a red flag.
Now, all the organizations accused deny any wrongdoing and argue this infringes on their First Amendment rights. Recall Whittaker Chambers' warnings about communism in his best-selling autobiography, Witness, written in 1952, Bill.
Oh.
Well, next story. Iran's foreign minister made a statement that says, "Our defense's doctrine is clear, an eye for an eye." Rubio responds with this.
Our defense doctrine is clear. Eye for an eye.
It's an eye for an eye. The president's policy is a head for an eye.
The president is throwing a huge...
Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, Iran, last I checked, we got 1.5 Ayatollahs. How about you? How many leaders have you got? You haven't even gotten a single, I don't know, not even like a general, let alone our president. Huh? Next story. Ooh, Iranian guards. Remember how they were saying, oh, if you attack our infrastructure, we're going to get yours? They attacked an Amazon data center in Bahrain. Ooh, that's an expensive building. That is a building filled with very expensive chips. Yeah, we know how much money is getting poured into all these AI data centers all over the world. And here it is, Amazon getting hit now. Oh. Next story. Any regrets Amazon allowing China to make so much money, ripping off the American general public with their shady merchants who are cheating the system out on Amazon? Remember that? Remember when Chinese merchants were buying positive reviews to get an edge on Amazon? Yeah, and you allowed them to do it, and they made all this money all these years, and they used that money to fund Iran's military, who are blowing up your data centers now. Isn't that funny, guys? That's a funny little roundabout thing, huh? Anyways, next story. Trump just revealed that Iranian money will be paying. Okay, so you know the money that was frozen from Iran. He said going forward, that money will be dispersed to companies who own those ships that are getting hit by rockets. Yeah. Trump says here, please let this statement serve to represent until further notice that from this point forward, any and all damages done to ships, cargo, or anything related thereto will be paid for by Iranian money that the U.S. has in its possession and controls. These damages may be substantial, but nevertheless, this is the fair and equitable thing to do. Next story. Iran has rejected a new ceasefire. Apparently, you guys remember the president of Iran was in a house, and then they made that new deal with us for Chevron to build a new pipeline to bypass the Strait of Hormuz. Well, Trump gave him a new proposed ceasefire to relay over to Iran. Iran rejected it. Yeah. Oh, they're mad. They're gonna fight. Oh, they're so tough. Yeah. So the war is still going. I think we're like attack number 12 now. Look at this. This is out of the Wall Street Journal. Okay. Wall Street Journal says President Trump has reportedly lost faith in democracy and is now in revenge mode, guys. Wait, hold on. Well, I thought you guys have been saying during the ceasefire, Wall Street Journal, Krasenstein, and a variety of other CCP-funded news organizations have been saying that Iran won the war. Right? You guys are like, oh, Iran won the war. They weren't even trying to win it. No, Iran won. What happened? So first you were like, oh, Iran won the war, and now you're begging for mercy. Let me reread this, okay? Trump has reportedly lost faith in democracy and is now in revenge mode against Iran. Yeah, that's how a liberal would say it. So why are you guys worried all of a sudden? You guys are so proud of your victory. Iran won. Remember that? Yeah, Iran won the war. And now you're crying because he's killing the shit out of you again. Hey, maybe next time count your blessings. How about that? How about next time Trump decides, okay, let's take it easy. Let's be more humanitarians and not blow up their bridges and their power plants. They need water and energy. And they don't get water without electricity driving their water pumps. Okay? So then they're getting electricity. You guys realize that, right? You don't get water without electricity. Yeah, unless there's a water tower somewhere. And even then, that's limited because that has to be constantly refilled with water as the pressure feeds your system, right? But Trump was being very humane. And you guys accused him of losing. You were like, yeah, he lost the war. He lost like shit. And now he's blowing up your cash cow, huh? Ah. Counter blessings, or he's going to blow up your slush fund, huh? Let me guess, your super chats are down now? You're getting fewer super chats since this started again? Yeah, that'll happen when you run out of money. That'll happen when money gets reallocated to buying new radar systems because your old ones got blown up. Huh? Yeah. Anyways, rest in peace, Iran. Next story. Bessent is getting in on this mix. Bessent has froze the assets of multiple Iranian regime funding sources with new devastating sanctions. 4 individuals and 9 entities have been sanctioned that have been involved in Iran's sanctions evasion network. Look at that. Bessent doesn't hammer. Bessent says Iran regime continues to pay a steep economic price for its reckless behavior, with the rial plunging to another record low and inflation up massively. But wait, according to the Wall Street Journal, they're winning. According to the crash indices, they won the war. What happened? It's going down again? That doesn't make any sense. When you won, how does it go down? How is their currency weakening when their power is going that way? Their power is going that way. Their money is going that way. That doesn't make any sense. You know? Someone's lying, and I don't think it's the Krasensteins. Anyways. Well, congratulations on winning your war, Iran. It's done well for your currency. Next story. Oh, this is a big one. Trump posted this morning. He is somewhat calling out China and Russia for possibly helping Iran in their attacks lately. Okay, so things are ramping up, guys. Oh, and by the way, actually, I just missed this earlier. Let's get to this real quick. I just missed this earlier, but I meant to add it, but it got wiped out. But where is it? Saudi Arabia. Where is it? Bahrain and Kuwait warplanes struck Iran for the first time in this war. Yeah, prior they were just firing rockets back. Remember retaliatory rocket fire? Now they're actually flying there, using their jets and attacking them. Yeah, right there. Bam! And that's how you make friends, guys. That's how you make friends. So they're ramping up. China and Russia are possibly ramping up. President Trump writes, No, this isn't the one I wanted to write. Let's see, where is it? There's another one. Okay, it's the same one. It's the same thing. Okay, never mind. Here we go. Trump writes, President Pooh Bear, at our recent meeting in Beijing, told me that he would not, under any circumstances, give or sell weapons to the Islamic Republic of Iran. And that statement included Chinese companies. Considering our relationship, I take him at his word. And besides, I'm doing him a very big favor also. Likewise, President Putin, despite the horrible war going on in Ukraine, told me that he would not sell weapons to Iran. He understands that I do not sell weapons to Ukraine, but to NATO. They pay full price, and how those weapons are distributed, I have no idea. Therefore, 2 major countries that people speak of often in terms of Iran are, in my opinion, not participating. If they did, it would be very bad for them. That is him warning them. Okay? He says it's certainly not in their best interest. That is him warning him. Okay? Here's another warning to them. Zelensky's coming to visit the White House on Tuesday. Are we finally selling tomahawks? Because he just found out that Russia and China have been helping Iran attack all their neighbors and killing another 4 U.S. troops? Is that what's going on? Why is President High Heels here coming to town? You can tell he's wearing high heels because he's almost as tall as Trump. This guy's 5'6". It's impossible. He's 5'3". He's 6'3". This guy's 5'6", 5'5", something like that. He's the same height as Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise runs in all his movies, so you can't tell how short he is. That's a fun fact. Anyways, so he's gonna be coming to town on Tuesday. Also, wait, where's the other one? Shit. Okay, well, I guess I didn't park it. I have to look for it then. Whatevers. There was something. Let me look for it. There was something else involving Trump and Bulgaria has sided with Trump and approved the U.S. using a Bulgarian base on defensive strikes against Iran. Good stuff. Thank you very much, Bulgaria. And I completely forgot you guys still exist. Thank you. Where are we at? Multiple injured, flash flooding, Secret Service, Bon Jovi, Ukraine president's going to be in town, Bahrain and Kuwait attacking Iran, LeBron James signing with the 76ers. I don't know what that, where is it? There was another piece. It was about another thing between us and like another country that we might be having a problem with soon. No, it's before that one. Oh, here it is. The US and the UK are planning to convene a high-level meeting in London next week that will focus on a potential international coalition to protect maritime shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Yes, because we have 2 straits to protect now. And we got to go handle Nigeria because they're being a bunch of genocidal maniac Islamists out there. 2 European diplomats and 2 sources told Axios that. So that's another thing going on there. At least the UK, they're somewhat maybe possibly stepping up. I have no idea. I was supposed to insert that here because Iran threatened the UK and says UK says it stands ready. Okay, I'm sorry. Iran threatened the UK after the UK says no. Well, anyways, why you write like this, Jordan Carter? Anyways, Iran threatens the UK hyphen. Again, the hyphens, they fucked me up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who taught this hyphen shit, but whatever. It's okay. Should have been a period. Iran threatens the UK, and the UK responds by saying it stands ready 24/7 to defend itself. Okay, so remember the other day we talked about the remember the, what is it called, the Comet Call, whatever it was. It's basically a Gulfstream jet that was modified to be like act like a mobile EMP. It flies around and disrupts radar, stuff like that, so that we can go on attack and they can't detect us, right? There is another ship that does very similar things that the UK Air Force has, the Royal Air Force has, and the 2 working in conjunction together, it's like insane signal disruptions. Even the internet goes down, and so apparently that's what so UK might be joining this thing with us. About time, huh? About time. It's more than I can say for France and Italy. But anyway, so the new prime minister is allowing us to use their base now. So we saw that the flying EMP jet, whatever it's called, the Comcast call. I forgot what it's called. So we got that, and then we can also use their bases. We can use their bases now, as well as they're going to be helping with the Strait of Hormuz. Good stuff. Good stuff. You know what that means? That means you get to collect some of those fees as well. The protection fees, right? The protection from terror fees that we're going to be collecting for policing the Strait of Hormuz. And the other one, I forget what it's called, the El Babalaba Ding Dong Strait or something like that. It's the one next to, in front of Yemen, the one where Yemen is at. Yeah, which should be renamed to New Riyadh. I think that's a great name for Yemen. The New Riyadh, we call it the Riyadh Strait, huh? Hell, call it the Mohammed Strait. I do that. I'm fine with that as well. Yeah, especially if Saudi Arabia is going to be the one policing that one. Because we don't want to do it. We got better things to do. We got to knock over Nigeria. Next story. Ukraine hits yet another Wildberries warehouse, Wildberries distribution center. I'm finding out just from here, this article alone, that Wildberries is apparently Russia's Amazon. Oh. So, this is the 3rd Wildberries distribution center that has been destroyed this week alone by Ukraine. Ukraine previously has not had very impactful missiles that were effective at this long range and can hit hard enough to start a fire that big. Okay, and they are now. These warehouses are completely being torched down, like it's burning down entirely. Imagine that, guys. Now, granted, we have our own warehouses that are catching fire, right? But for our own fault. We're putting solar panels on them, and the solar panels are catching fire. But yeah, so yeah, this is the 3rd one, guys. The 3rd. They're going after their food and distribution infrastructure. Should have made a deal. Not looking good for the Russians now. Next story. Another mayor was ended in Mexico. Yeah, this is normal in communist dictatorship countries run by cartels. This guy right here is gone. He was Mayor Valentin Valentin Lavin. He was gunned down inside of the city hall. Wow, they went into the city hall, the office where he worked. You didn't have like a security guard, metal detector, anything like that? Yeah, anyway, so yeah, everything's gone to shit again. It looks to me like Claudia Sheinbaum told the cartels to dial it down during the World Cup, and now that the World Cup's over, it's time to slaughter again. It's time to kidnap 40 people per day again. Yeah, we got to part these people out and ship them over to China to be used for organ harvesting. Yeah, or if they're adorable enough, we can rent them to disgusting billionaires in America. Yeah, we could do that. So anyways, he's gone. Next story. China has restricted exports of 14 EU entities. Exports to 14 EU entities. These were, I believe, they're restricting exports of something military related. Exports of products with the potential for dual civilian and military uses. This began today. The move comes a day after the EU imposed similar export restrictions against 51 new entities, including Chinese and Hong Kong companies, which it accused of supporting Russia and Russia's war in Ukraine. Oh, okay. So China is absolutely supporting Russia, and that's why they sanctioned it. And they're sanctioning these items from being exported to Europe. Maybe because they might be maybe because it might be used for military purposes. Got it. Well, that's how they are, right? Look at these two communist flags here. Terrible. The EU, a bunch of unelected bureaucrats. You guys realize that? They're not elected. No one voted for them. Kind of like our administrative state, right? Those three-letter agencies. Next story. I'm not sure what the story this is here. The boat's GPS in the Nolan Wells case has been released, showing 2 trips to Fort Bayou after leaving the island where Nolan was last seen. So this guy's apparently missing, I guess, or whatever, right? Anyways, this is a lawyer reading stuff involving that case. Listen to this reading.
It goes, the gunshot wound of the head. A, the injury, proliferation of the left internal carotid.
Look at her face. Even she's like, what the fuck? This is our lawyer?
I'm looking at it. So it's not subdural artery, but it's...
This guy passed the bar exam, guys. Yeah, a DEI at its best, guys. But at least he gets to be a lawyer, you know. They don't get the best, representation ever, but at least they're, helping their own make money. Yeah. This is sent to me by Kathy, by the way. Thank you, dear. Anywho, last story of the day before we get to the watch party. There's been a multi-year study involving 800 embalmers, okay? And the 800 okay, let me redo that. A multi-year study involving 800 embalmers and funeral directors across 5 countries reveals that 75.2% of these bodies that they're working on, they noticed unusual white fibrous structures in the corpses. Yeah. Do you know what percentage of people on average is jabbed by the Rona jab? About 75%. Yeah. What a coincidence that number is. So, what countries did this take place in? The USA, Canada, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. I think we had the least strict Rona policies. Canada, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Those are all crown countries, like I said. There's no coincidence that all the crown countries are the Western countries that had the worst COVID policies, and that is all because of it was all driven by Queen Elizabeth and Prince Charles at the time. And so these 5 countries here, we are confirming that coincidentally the percentage of people jabbed matches the percentage of people who have these unusual white fiber structures in their bodies. Wow. And I can't say much more than that. Oh, that is bad. This is the fiber structures we're talking about, guys. Yeah. That blue thing is the glove. It's his hand. He's holding it out. And these are clots. Yeah. So if you got the jab, I'm sorry. But you might have issues on the way out. Oops. Here we go. Anyways, we got a few more things to watch. We've got, let me see. Trump signed a thing announcing the ratepayer protection pledge. We're going to watch that, and then we're going to cut off of YouTube. And we've got several things to watch on Rumble. We've got Texas woman arrested over Facebook posts. We've got a piece by by Chris Chappell talking about the Chinese stock market crashing. We got our daily episode of Asian Women Are Awful. This one's titled Older Single Women in China Are Becoming Increasingly Anxious. Foreign girls are starting to compete. Yeah, hotter, nicer, less demanding, you know, and also don't require a bride price. Marrying Chinese men in China, good stuff. And then also we got the Josh Phillips show. You can find him on YouTube. He's got America versus the ICC, the International Criminal Court. So we've got all that to do. But before that, guys, remember I got other channels to follow. Frank's Funny Shorts as well as Frank's Show Clips. Please hype videos on that channel to get more points, and you only get 3 hypes per week. Cash App, buy me a coffee, subscription, Patreon, ways you can support the channel, or you can become a member like Sherry or Close Call. And it's only $3 a month, and it helps keep the channel alive. You can also do that on Rumble, like Joshua did. Look at that, Joshua, and also Jillian. They also have memberships. If you do it on Rumble, you get access to our Rumble Premium Hangouts. We might do a Rumble Premium Hangout today. We'll see. I have to. We'll see. We'll play it by ear, see what happens. Because I was gonna do curling, but I forgot we're only doing that Mondays now. Yeah, because I'm running out of curling videos to watch. So I'm like, let's do it once a week. You know, since Rumble doesn't ever post my live streams in the sports section of their front page, even though I'm live and no one else is, you know. Anyways, here we go. Ratepayer protection pledge. Donald Trump. Oops, I gotta mute the copyright music. Here we go. Where's the music? There we go.
This group, and they said, could you come over and run over and say a few?
There we go.
About this group, and they said, could you come over and run over and say a few things? And I said, absolutely, I will. And they gave me the lowest seat I've ever sat in. And I think, you know, they set that. They do that on purpose. I don't think it was Chris that did it. I'm just trying to compare them. Chris wouldn't do that, but it happens. It's really an honor to be with you, tremendous people, and it's a really important subject, so I wanted to be here. I'll say a few words, and then I'll head out, and you'll handle it, and it's something you're very familiar with. But the people in the room are real doers, real amazing. It's an amazing group. We're here today to continue the incredible progress we're making in communities nationwide to ensure that as new data centers go up, and they're going up all over. Electricity bills for American families will actually come down. You know, you're going to be building your own data centers, and you're going to building your own electric plants. You're essentially becoming a utility, like Con Edison in New York, but maybe at a level that nobody's ever seen before, because we've seen some of the plants that they're building are absolutely incredible. They're absolutely incredible. They're electric plants. Electric manufacturing plants. It's hard to believe, but you need double the electricity that we have right now, maybe even more than that, to really fulfill what you want to do. We're leading China by a lot, and using our old grid would not have worked. And I came up with the idea that, you know, build your own plant. This way nobody can complain. You won't call me and say what a terrible job I'm doing, because we have a 200-year-old grid that's not the best in the world. You look at some places, you take a look at California, you have brownouts and blackouts every weekend. The last thing they're going to be able to do is supply electric at
Real quick, let me do one live read, okay? Will not be long. Here we go. We hear a lot about crypto, but here's the part most people miss. Crypto was created so you could actually own and control your money. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks, so instead of a bank holding your money, delaying transfers or limiting access, you are in control. And if you've ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you felt that problem. Now fast forward to today, everyone's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. That's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet. It takes all that complexity and makes it simple. Choose what you want: Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. No complicated setup. It connects with MoonPay so you can use your credit card, debit card, or bank and be up and running in minutes. Once you're all set up, you can even support your favorite creators on Rumble like me directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code on the screen or click on a link in the description on Rumble and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap the buy button, and you're in the game. In just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. All right, here we go.
Nobody's ever explained to me why it's so much electricity, why you need so much, nor did I care that much, to be honest with you. All I know is you need more than double what we produce right now. Think of it. So we produce tremendous amounts of electricity for every business, and this industry needs more than double that amount. So we're letting you build your own with the Trump administration's ratepayer protection plan. The American innovators and consumers thrive to win together because we're insisting that AI data centers and big tech companies pay their own way, and that's what they're doing, and they're happy to do it because this way they're going to be able to function and function brilliantly. They're going to have a lot of electricity left over, and they'll put that into the grid, so we'll actually end up with more electricity. The rates are going to go down. As president,
real quick, thank you very much, Lou Rock, for the donation over on Fox. So thank you, Lou Rock. You are awesome. Thank you, buddy. And thank you, 0 o'clock. 0 o'clock. Thank you for the donation over on Foxhole. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
I've always said that America's goal must be to dominate the future, and that includes being the #1 superpower in artificial intelligence. So important. And this is, I think, bigger than frankly, I think it's bigger than the internet. It's bigger than anything anyone's seen thus far. Maybe someday there'll be something bigger than this, probably will. But I think up until this point, AI is probably the biggest thing anybody's ever seen. And whoever wins that race is probably going to win, period. And again, we're leading China, and we want to keep it that way. President Xi is coming over on September 24th. And we talked about it when I was over in Beijing. And we'll be talking about it again. But he was very impressed with the job we've done because ordinarily, they don't have any problem with electric. They build a lot of electric. They don't do environmental impact statements. They just say, you want electric, we'll build it. They don't use too many windmills. They make the windmills, but they don't use them. They do it the old-fashioned way in many ways. The United States never settles for second, and we don't under this administration. I can tell you that. You see that because we have the hottest country right now anywhere in the world. We live by the motto, America First. That's what's made us very strong, and we're leading China and all other countries by a lot in AI and just about every other category, including crypto. We want to stay in front in crypto. They'd love to take that over. So many other things they'd like to take over. They're highly competitive, if you haven't noticed. But thanks in part to this incredible technology boom, investments are pouring into the United States from all over the world. $19.2 trillion, creating hundreds of thousands of jobs. So think of it, $19.2 trillion in 12 months. Okay? And the previous administration had less than $1 trillion in 4 years. I would say that's an improvement. Do I get credit for it? No. No credit. Think of that. So 19.2 in 12 months versus less than 1 in 4 years. It's hard to believe, right? But that's the way it is. No credit, but we just keep chugging along. But as I say I get no credit for anything, and then I look around the Oval Office. I said, oh, but we're in the Oval Office. So I guess we do get credit. But less than 2 years ago, our country was dead. And I've had this said by so many leaders. I use the expression a little bit different sometimes, said differently, but meaning the same thing. They say, sir, less than 2 years ago, your country was dead, and now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world, and we are the hottest in the world. At the same time, we know that the data centers and AI are dramatically increasing the demand for electricity. It's only fair that the cost of building the new infrastructure required to meet this demand should be borne by the corporations themselves, not by the American consumers and the American patriots, American citizens. And I think everybody agrees to it. And actually, they really don't have a choice because there's no way of producing that kind of electricity, the kind you need. And they want to do it themselves. And honestly, they're coming up with some plans that are genius, just like they are. That's why earlier this year I introduced the Ratepayer Protection Pledge. Under this groundbreaking plan, America's largest tech companies have formally committed to fund or build all energy infrastructure required to meet the demand they are placing on the grid. So they're going to be funding all of those electric needs, and we're giving them the right to build their own power plants. Lee Zeldin is here. He's phenomenal, and he's getting it done quickly. And thank you. Stand up. Stand up. He is phenomenal. He's incredible. He's an MVP candidate, I will tell you. He is doing things at levels, and by the way, everything perfectly. He's totally into the environment, but he's getting things done in 2, 3, 4 weeks that used to take years and years. And people are getting their approvals, and they're building buildings. We're building more buildings now, plants, and all sorts of manufacturing capability that we've never done anywhere near it many, many times. And companies are pouring in. Toyota, the other day, as you know, announced that they're moving into our country from Mexico. They're going to be, I think, closing up a lot of their operation, maybe all of it in Mexico. They're moving to this country. We have we have more car plants being built now in the United States than at any time in history. And, you know, we went years before me. We went many years with no car plant being built. I mean, they wouldn't even think about building in this country. Now, we're the hot, same thing with chips. We'll have about 50% by the time this term is over. We're going to have probably 50% of the chip market. A year ago, when we began, we had no chip market. We had virtually none other than Intel. We had Intel. And we made a purchase of 10% of Intel. We got it for the right price. And we made approximately $72 billion on that deal. So it was good. Do I get credit for that one? No. I get no credit. None. But we did that, and we made a lot of great deals, I'll tell you, and we keep it going too. But Intel's been fantastic, one of the hottest companies anywhere in the country. And when we met them, they were really having very big difficulty. We worked with them, but the stock price has gone up many times. I think it's maybe the hottest or one of the hottest anywhere in the world. So it was an honor to do it. I love looking good. But we made a lot of money. We made, I guess, over $72 billion on that profit. They've also agreed to invest heavily in local communities where data centers are built, supporting job training and local services. They're really spending a tremendous amount of money. In other words, the governors in the room, you have great governors in this room, and these companies are spending tremendous amounts of money on the communities, the local communities. So I think it's important that we tell the local communities that, because other nations are trying to get us to slow down, and they're spending a lot of money on propaganda, on press, PR, trying to convince everybody that this isn't a positive thing. And if we don't do this, we're going to be left behind. And even communities compared to other communities. You have some communities that really want this. This isn't all negative stuff. You have communities that really want the data centers. And frankly, those are the smart communities, because it means tremendous numbers of jobs, very little actual disruption. And the ones that don't want it, you know, the happiest people in the world are foreign countries, number one, and number two, other communities within our country, because they're begging for them to be there. And some of them are great communities, very, very forward-looking communities, very smart communities. Since I introduced this plan just a few months ago, more than 220 utilities, tech companies, state governments, and other partners have signed our Ratepayer Protection Pledge. electricity rates for 80% of the power distributed in America are now being kept in check by the plan. We have kept rates down, way down. You know, we inherited the worst inflation in the history of America from the Biden administration. And as you know, last week it was announced that inflation is way down. It's down more than it's been in over 6 years. And other things are happening that are so fantastic. And when all these buildings, plants, factories that we're talking about start opening up, all I know is I'd like to be the next president, because I'm going to make somebody look very good. They're going to sit there and all this stuff is going to be opening and they're going to be saying what a genius they are. That happened with Biden. I got cuts in medicine prices that statutorily took 2 or 3 years. And I got these tremendous cuts, and then they sat there and said, oh, yeah. They didn't even know where they came from. But I got them, and this is going to be a much bigger example. You have all these plants that are going to be opening up over the next 2 years. Sooner, but 2 years. And somebody's going to look very, very smart, and I hope you remember me, because what we've done is something that nobody thought was possible. For example, Southern companies, Georgia Power has frozen base rates for households until 2029. Is anybody here from Georgia Power? Huh? There's a certain governor who's here. A certain governor who's here. Congratulations. Good job. That's a great job. I've heard about it. Congratulations to both, and it's fantastic. And Georgia, the revenue from Google's data center construction is allowing them to eliminate property taxes entirely. And that's what you call using it to your advantage. The numbers are so incredible. Nobody's ever seen. You know, all my life, the biggest building in the whole world was the Pentagon. And you can fit 25 Pentagons into some of these buildings, 25. And if you happen to be a community, and there's very little disruption. They're just large. They go on for miles. And frankly, if you like certain types of things, they're incredible to look at, to see that we could do something like this. But they also throw off tremendous amounts of money for the community. And when you look at Georgia and you look at the revenue, think of that, revenue from Google's data center construction, allowing them to eliminate all property taxes. Did you know that, Brian? That's not bad, right? So thank you very much. Great job. That's a great job. And you probably had some negative stuff, a little heat. Oh, we don't want a data center. Usually those are the people that actually want them and they'd like you not to build them. Because you know what? If it doesn't go to you and if it doesn't go to Georgia, as an example, it's going to go someplace else. And those people are very happy to get them, too, the smart people. American Electric Power now projects that their customers will enjoy as much as $16 billion in cost offsets for consumers thanks to their data center contracts. $16 billion. So think of that. That's cost offsets. In Iowa, Alliant Energy data center deals. Where are you, Alliant? Alliant, where are you? Are you here? Thank you. Data center deals are allowing them to freeze electric rates for consumers for at least 5 years. So your rates are going to stay the same or lower. In Louisiana, there's a guy looks like he's from Louisiana to me. Public school teachers in so think of that, Richland Parish are getting as much as $50,000 in bonuses this year thanks to a $27 billion project by Meta that will also save local residents $2.6 billion on their electricity bills. Their electricity is going down in less than that. That's big stuff, Mr. Governor, right? You didn't have any doubt about it. Here's a governor doing a great job. We have some really great governors in this room. With the Ratepayer Protection Pledge, we're creating a fair deal for everybody. This is how we'll grow our economy, lower the cost of living, protect American consumers, and lead the world in AI and high tech, all at the same time. We want to lead the world. And it is said, if you come in second, you're going to be second overall, because there's never been anything big like this. There's never been any, like in Georgia, there's no other thing you can do to create numbers like you've created, Brian. Both of you, there's no other thing. You can do 100 different deals, 100. It is nothing close to what you've been able to do. And why? They put a big, gorgeous new plant in a certain location. Big deal. It's so incredibly positive. Unfortunately, there are some who would like to lead us down the opposite path. And I call them the radical left communists. They call them socialists, but these people are communists, actually more. I think it's a much more accurate term. Want to shut down all new development, kill our most successful industries, destroy hundreds of thousands of jobs, and surrender the AI race to China. And China, look, you know, I'm not blaming them. I have a lot of respect for them. I have a lot of respect for President Xi, but they represent China. We represent the United States of America. And they lobby against these things, and they spend money on it, and they want communities to reject them as much as possible because they'd like to be leading the race. But we're leading the race, and unless we're very foolish and frankly very stupid, we'll continue to lead the race. We have a nice lead. A lot of people didn't expect that was possible. Perhaps even worse, the radical left's plans would not lower your electricity bills, but they would actually increase them very substantially because you wouldn't have all of this money pouring in. You'd have American energy would be far more expensive, and regulating oil, natural gas, and clean, beautiful coal, it would be the end of all of it. It would be the end of all of it. It would be the end of, frankly, it would be the end of great success for our country because we've never had anything like what's happening right now. I call them the Democrats because their policies are so bad. Look, think of it. No men. We want no men in women's sports. Transgender, they want transgender for everybody. I call it transgender mutilization of your children for everybody. Open borders where the world can pour in, where prisons from all over the world are released into our country. And we've done a hell of a job in getting them out. Murderers, 11,888 murderers let into our country under the previous administration. We've gotten a lot of them out. We're getting the rest of them out fast. But the Democrats in Congress want less energy, not more. And if given the chance, they'd send your prices soaring and inflation skyrocketing, which is exactly what would happen if you had somebody else sitting in the position that I am right now. And just like we did with the Green New scam, where we were scammed. The whole country was, I wasn't scammed. I got it right from the beginning. I got it from the first minute when I heard this crap, you know? They were saying wind was so wonderful, except you couldn't watch your television. They wanted to watch the debate. Donald Trump against Sleepy Joe Biden. Nobody could watch it because the wind wasn't blowing. Remember that? Darling, we'd like to watch the debate tonight. I'm sorry, the wind isn't blowing. Now, that's one of the great scams of all time, but, you know. If you dislike another country, let them keep building windmills. They are going down. People are finally figuring it out. But we're not going to let it happen to this country. We're going to use the kind of things that work, and they're working better than anybody ever thought possible. So experts have observed that the amount of energy a society produces is the single greatest indicator of its advancement as a civilization, its success as a country. Think of it when you think the amount of energy produced, Lee. So when you give those fast approvals, that's a positive thing. I want you to feel good. Yet instead of offering a positive version and vision for carrying American civilization to new heights, the radical left only wants to limit our energy consumption and rein in our American dreams. We have the American dream. Until we came along, we had a great first term. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country, and this economy will blow it away. We're doing very well against the Islamic Republic of Iran. We're doing extremely well. They would like to do something, but I say they're not ready yet. They need more of the same. They're not ready yet. They got some evil intentions. We cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. If we did all this that I'm talking about your data centers, isn't that important? When they start blowing away communities one by one, we cannot let them ever even think about having a nuclear weapon, and that's exactly what's happening. They'll never have a nuclear weapon. Under the and by the way, this should have been done by other. They've been saying 47 years now for about 3 years, but this should have been done for 50 years by other American presidents or other countries. Didn't have to be us, but it seems to, if we don't do it, nobody else is. But I will, and nobody else has the capability to do it either. We built, in my first term, the greatest military anywhere in the world. And we're using it a little more than I thought, but that's all right. We had Venezuela, that Chris is doing a fantastic job, and we've paid for the cost of that war many times over. We're taking millions and millions of barrels of oil, and it's going to Houston and Louisiana. You know that. You see those ships lined up. And again, we paid for that many, many times over, and we have a great relationship with Venezuela. And the people are happy in Venezuela right now. They can't believe what's happened. We have the biggest companies, the biggest oil companies in the world going in and doing business like nobody ever thought possible. And we're taking some, we should, and they're taking some. And, you know, it's very interesting that they're making more money. Chris was showing me some numbers. They're making more money, Venezuela now, than they've ever made before. And we're making a lot, too. And I think we're entitled to that. So it was really something. We took that. It was a one-day war. It took one day. People said, oh, we're going to be tied up there forever. And here, you know, we were in Vietnam for 20 years, lost thousands and hundreds of thousands of lives, but thousands and thousands of lives. We were in Afghanistan for years. We were in all these wars that you heard about for years and years. We were, you know, I called them never-ending wars. Well, we're in for 4 months, and I had a very sad day yesterday. I went to Dover. 4 great American patriots killed. That's 18 in 2 wars, and 1 is too many, but it's 18, whereas in Vietnam we lost 200,000. We lost thousands and thousands in Afghanistan. We lost thousands in every war. The Korean War, thousands, and these wars all lasted for years. And we want to get it over with, and we want to do it right. But we have to do what we came to do, and that's we can't let these people, very violent people, we can't let them have what they want, which is nuclear weapons. It came from all of this success, came from innovation and ambition and drive. In this country, we build the future fearlessly and confidently so that America always will be strong, prosperous, and dominant. And the other thing we're going to add to that, we want to be free, and we're going to continue to be free as long as we're smart. And we can't be hoodwinked. We can't be taken advantage of by people that say you're going to have a free home, you're going to get free rent, everything's going to be free. What they don't say is a year later, everything is going to end up in squalor, destruction, and death, and also death for our country. So we have to stop the threat of the communist rhetoric that you're hearing right now, because these people, they don't act. I'm very happy a poll came out. It said they're highly educated, but doing very poorly. In other words, they're losers. They went to school, they got a good education, now they don't know what they're doing, so what they do is they complain about people like yourselves that have done so well. But we can't let the communist ideology we don't want to even think about it for this country. It would be terrible. So we're joined today by some of the people helping to do all of the things that I just talked about, putting the Ratepayer Protection Pledge into action. And here with us are Secretary of Energy Chris Wright, who's an outstanding person. Doug Burgum told me about Chris. I didn't know Chris. I wanted Doug to head up energy, and Doug said, no, there's one man that's better. Who? Chris Wright. I said, who the hell is that? Turned out to be this guy right over here. And he's turned out to be incredible, really incredible. He's running Venezuela. He's running a lot of, more than anybody has ever run before, I think we can say, Chris, right? He's doing a great job, so we appreciate it. Thank you. A friend of mine, the governor of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, popular guy, really smart, street smart and book smart, which is a rare combination, by the way. We have the governor of Nebraska, Jim Pillen, who's done a fantastic job. He's where's Jim? Is there any someplace? Where are you? Oh, hello, Jim. You're looking good. You don't change much? Thank you. You don't change much. How's Nebraska doing? Good? Do they still like Trump in Nebraska? I think so, huh? We had a very good night 2 nights ago in a place called Arizona. We're 14 out of 14, and we're doing that kind of numbers in Nebraska. I think we're doing those numbers everywhere. And it's all based on common sense. You know, we're conservative, we're this, we're that, whatever you are. The most important thing is we're people of common sense. We want to have strong borders. We want to have good education. We want to have low taxes. We want to have a great military. We're people of common sense. And if you do that, you'll be very successful at politics. Governor of Idaho, Brad Little, thank you very much, Brad. Governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, thank you, Brian. Great honor. Entergy CEO, Drew Marsh. Drew, thank you very much, Drew. Thank you, Drew. Great job you're doing. Southern Company CEO, Chris Womack. Chris, hi, there he is again. Chris, I didn't know that was your name. I just saw you. I said, that's a smart guy, because you did that big job making people in Georgia rich, right? That's Meta President Dina Powell, who's been my friend. She was with me for 4 years in the White House. And I called up Mark. I said, you hired the right person. You got the right person. So great, Dina. We're proud of you. Columbia County Commission Chairman Doug Duncan. Doug, thank you, Doug. Congratulations. Job well done. And Sheldon Jones of Louisiana's Richland Parish School District. And thank you very much. Good job. You know him, don't you? Huh? Thank you. I heard you're doing fantastically well. And again, Lee Zeldin, who's been so outstanding. So. So I want to just want to leave you by saying that it's an honor to be here. I'm going over now to talk about various and sundry subjects. One is the Iran war, where, again, we're doing very well, very, very well. I would say better than anybody expected could be done. We've knocked out their Navy, their Air Force, all of their radar, most of their capability in terms of manufacturing. Their drones are down 84%. Their missiles are down 91%. And I had a newspaper say, they're in stronger position today than they were 4 months ago. No, that's not the truth. That's not right. I can't believe they're even allowed to say it. New York Times said, they're in stronger position today. They have no military. They have no Navy. They had 159 ships. Everyone's at the bottom of the sea. They had 212 airplanes. Everyone is gone. They have no radar. They have no anti-aircraft. They have no nothing other than they're mean and they're smart and they still have some capability. But 4 months ago, trust me, they were much, much stronger. Okay, I want to give you the non-fake news. But we're going to do that, and we're going to then have the Dodgers, the World Championship Dodgers are going to be over at the White House. They're going to be waiting. And I'll meet a man who's just about the best pitcher in baseball and just about the best hitter in baseball and just about the best fielder in the outfield in baseball. And needless to say, I guess he had a game where he pitched a almost perfect game, and he had 2 or 3 home runs in that game, and they said it was probably, I said, you know, never seen that. Only Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth was a great pitcher, and he was a great hitter. But even the Babe didn't throw a one-hitter and hit 3 home runs, which would make it, I would imagine, about the greatest game ever played. So we're going to meet him and all of the people of the Dodgers. They won the World Championship, and we see the champions, the Super Bowl champions, and the baseball and basketball, all of them. They like to come over to the White House. We're going to have a little thing in a few minutes. But I want to just thank everybody, and was really talking about the ratepayer protection plan to me is very important, because you have to convince your community how great these things. You can't fight it. You have to go with it. And you're going to have all that protection, and we're giving you automatic protection, but you're going to make a tremendous amount of money. You're going to reduce taxes, and you're going to have something that if you don't have it, everybody else wants it. So these are the smartest people. Most of you in this room, we have a couple probably on the other side of things. They disagree, but I don't know how they can disagree. Your community and your state's going to become rich, and there's very little disruption. And again, if you don't take all that money, somebody else is going to take it. You might as well do it yourself. So it's an honor to be with you. And maybe I'll let Chris and Lee and the group and Jeff and Brian, everybody just take over, have a good free-for-all, and figure it out. And if you have any problems, I'll come right back and I'll straighten those problems out. Okay? Thank you. Great job. Thank you.
All right, guys. Let's head on over to Rumble now. We've got a lot more to watch. We still have where is it? episode of Roman Balmakov, talking about a Texas woman arrested over a Facebook post. And then Chris Chappell's got one title, China stock market just crashed. Then we got our daily episode of Asian Women Are Awful. And it is about older single women upset because foreign Russians, the Russians and Ukrainians, are marrying their men. And they don't want nice women in their country because they all want to universally treat them like shit. Yeah, and abuse them and take advantage of them, take it for granted. Yeah, that's how Asian women are. Anyways, also America versus the ICC. That's gonna be by Joshua Phillips. So we'll see you guys over on Rumble. Have a great day, YouTube. If I don't see you, the link to Rumble is in the description. We'll see you over there. Goodbye, YouTube. Have a great weekend.